Hey everyone, Kevin here, and today I'm going to do a paper crafting video. I haven't done a video in a little while, and haven't done a paper crafting one in a little while. I wanted to make a box, and then I wanted to kind of color coordinate it. I recently have been in the kitchen doing some, I'll call it kitchen crafting, and I wanted to practice making cookies with royal icing and piping. So I have some kind of fancy cookies. The color was sort of pink and green and a little bit of gold, and then I hand piped some roses and used some fondant and some molds and things like that. So I'm going to make these into kind of like a hostess gift or a thank you gift. So these are the size of the cookies. I'm going to be working on one that's color coordinated for those pink and green ones. I've already made one here that these cookies were kind of blue and yellow. So I have a tag and then a box. And so in my box, tissue paper, and then I have some cookies in here. Again, these were sort of done kind of in a blue and yellow theme, and I piped some, did some piping on top of those as well. So that's the project, is a little hostess kind of gift that's sort of color coordinated. And I'm going to use 2 pieces of 12 by 12 paper, and what we're going to do is we're going to make a box, a tag, and a card all to go with it from those 2 sheets of 12 by 12 paper. And I'm going to have one that's a solid color and one that's a pattern paper. And I'm going to start by doing my cuts. So this is what I'm using for this project, is kind of this light green kind of color, and this sort of stripy one that is pink and green. And let me take off this little sticker here. Okay. All right, anyway, this is the one we're using. So for my, I'll just cut this part off. For your solid paper, you're going to leave one side 12 inches, and the other one you're going to cut down to 10 inches. So I'll just make sure I cut off the little tag there. Now, save this piece of paper. For my pattern paper, I'm going to cut 4 1/4. This is eventually going to become our base for our card. And then I'm going to cut 2 strips that are 2 1/2. And again, don't throw any of your scraps away. We might be using them. So the 1 2 1/2 strip, I'm going to cut to 4 1/4, 4 1/4, and 2 1/2. The other 2 1/2 strip I'm going to cut to 4 1/4, 2 1/2, and 3 1/2. Okay, that should be all for my cutting board. So that'll leave you with 3 pieces that are 2 1/2 by 4 1/4. I'm sorry, 3 pieces. 3 pieces that are 4 1/4 by 2 1/2. 2 pieces that are 2 1/2 by 2 1/2 square, and then one piece that's 2.5 by 3.5. Okay, we're going to use these a little bit later. Now we're going to do some scoring. Okay, so on the, let's see, the long side, the 12 by 12 side here, we're going to score at 1 inch. You know what, I want to use, this piece of paper has like a textured side and then a smooth side. And I think I want the textured side to be on the outside. Let's do that. So, okay, so we're going to score at 1 inch. Three and 3/4. Six and a half. Nine and 1/4. Okay, that's good. And then we're going to turn the 10-inch side. Then we're going to score at 2 3/4. 2 3/4. And for, let's see, 6, 7 1/4. 7 1/4, that should leave me with 1 2 3 1 2, right, 7 1/4. Okay, sorry, I didn't write that one measurement down there. I'll go over these again here. All right, so on the long side, on the 12-inch side, we're scoring at 1 inch. Oh, and I scored this at 1 1/4. That was a mistake. So 1 inch, 3 3/4, 6 1/2, and 9 1/4. And on the 10-inch side, we're scoring at 2 3/4 and 7 1/4. Okay, and that should be it for scoring. All right, now we're going to burnish. Okay, then we're going to make some cuts. These two small pieces here, on the 1-inch side, we're going to cut those out. We're going to make cuts on these, just up to this first fold here. We're going to make a cut. So eventually, this is going to fold up. This part is going to be the top. So the one with the tab is going to be the top that you're going to fold in. So you can remove these sections as well. So this is going to be, we're looking at the inside of the box here. This is going to be the top. So this will be the front that faces the person when they open it. So to make a nice sort of even, crisp front, you want these two to be the outside that you're going to fold together. So here we're going to fold these up. This is going to come forward. Let me fold this back here so you can see. These two tabs will get glued here, and then these two will come up and get glued on the outside, so you have a nice crisp edge here. Now, you may also be asking, like, why, I could certainly probably cut these down a little bit, but I actually like the strength that these 3 pieces add to the finished product here, because the cookies are, they're fairly, I'm not going to say heavy, but they are, they have a little weight to them, so you want definitely a sturdy paper here, and I think having these sides will eventually give you a nice, solid box that's not going to fall apart. Now we're going to add some pattern paper to the outside, and those 2 small squares, we want to make sure we're going to add to these sections only, because these are the ones that are really on the outside of the box. Okay? So I have some of my pattern paper. So my pattern papers are going to go here, and then I have these. Now this one is the bottom of the box. This one is the bottom. So you can certainly add paper there if you wanted to, but you don't have to. Okay, so all 3 of these, and then these 2 up here. All right, so again, these are going to go on the inside, and these are going to get glued to them first. So let's put some glue over here. Bone folder to press right down at the nice corners there. Okay, so our box should close very nicely, just like that. And those little cutouts that we did here help to be able to sort of open and close the box nicely, but still keep it level at the top here. So now we have our pattern paper all around. We have our box made. Now I'm going to put this to the side. We're going to work on a tag. So we're going to take this, the other piece that we cut, and I have a tag that is just a, kind of a tag that I have from a purchase. That I purchased a pack of tags. I'm just using this to kind of as a guide so I can cut off my sides here. And then I have a hole punch, and I have had this hole punch for, I don't know, 30, 40, maybe more years. I have had this punch since I was a kid, but it makes this kind of the perfect size that is this inner hole here. Okay. Now I'm going to take one of my scrap pieces of green that I had, and I have another hole punch. This is a Fisker's kind of very small hole punch, and I'm going to punch a little hole out of a green piece of paper. And then I'm going to take, this is another hole punch. This is a Recollections. It's just a small circle. And I'm going to center that in my hole punch. And cut that out. Take a little glue and kind of put it around the edge here. And put that on there. Now it leaves me with some extra glue kind of on the edges, so I'm just going to try and clean that up a little bit. Okay. And then our long piece of paper that we had left over, I'm going to just figure out kind of a nice size to put in here, and that's probably going to be about right there. That's 2 inches. So let's cut a 2-inch from this scrap piece. Now, again, this one has kind of a bumpy side and a flat side, so I'm going to use the flat side now. And I just have a little thank you stamp. This one happens to be from Inkadinkadoo, from a set called Thank You Words. And let's see. I'm going to use some strawberry slush, Stampin' Up ink. Okay. And then we're going to just center this on here and glue it. Okay, and that's our tag. And then let me bring out my scoreboard again, or let's see, I'm sorry, my cutting board. Alright, so this is that piece of pattern paper that we cut at 4 1/4. So this is going to be our A2 card. So I'm going to cut it at 11 here. And score it at 5 1/2. Now my pattern paper has another pattern on the other side, but you could certainly use a blank one. And let's give that a little burnish. So I'm going to take another piece of scrap leftover paper and this is a 1 1/2 inch punch. Again, so if you had white, or if your pattern paper was white on the other side, that's fine. And then I have my other piece of scrap cardstock. We're going to just cut at 4 1/2. And we're going to put this in the middle here. Oops. Oh, I I meant 4 1/4. 4 1/4. Okay. Where did I put my, oh, here it is, my glue. I'm just going to eyeball this and kind of put it in the middle here. Okay. And our round piece, you could stamp a message in here. We could do that, thank you again. This time I pulled out primrose petals. Ooh, let's see. I did not stamp that great. Okay. And let's put that on a little pop-up dot. Okay, so we have our card, our box, and our tag. I'm going to add a little bit of tissue paper in here and add my cookies and get some string, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I have some tissue paper. I've just folded up. Now these cookies have some dimension on them since they have these little roses. But hopefully I can fit 6 of them in here. We'll see. Perfect. And okay, and I got some pink and green string. Okay, there you have it. A sort of color-coordinated cookie card gift set. And I hope you enjoyed that. Comments, questions, leave them below. If you like this video, click that thumbs up button. If you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. And check back here for more crafty and soapy videos. Thanks everyone for watching. Have a great 4th of July.